All right, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, by Shalom Chakadosh. I would like to give double honors to our apostles of Great Millstone, Ruel, and peace and blessings to the house of David the elect. I'm Zahar, Spirit Wind Judah of the GMS Mississippi Camp, and today I want to go into a lesson entitled JC will not answer in that time. All right, JC, all right, whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, all right, will not answer in that time. He's just another false god, okay? And I'm going to start out with an account, all right, in the first book of Kings, all right, with Elijah, to show you that, you know, the God that our people is going to call on is not going to answer, all right? So our people, they theoretically follow their concept of God or JC, but their provisions, all right, on the surface comes from Esau, the so-called white man, all right, and their hope is in oppression, all right. They trusted in oppression, all right. Their livelihood comes from by way of oppression, or even going back to Hurricane Katrina, all right, our people were screaming for FEMA, all right, and not the Most High. So their real power, all right, because power means judge, and if you look up the word power, it goes into ability, all right. But their real power, all right, is Esau's power structure, all right. That's what the 12 tribes really depend on. They really depend on Esau's power structure, all right. And when things hit the fan, all right, and their integrity, all right, or their adherence to who they call Jesus Christ, all right, when it's tested, all right, it's going to be proven failure because he is not going to answer. He's not going to deliver. All right, so I'm just going to get this account in 1 Kings 18. All right, it's 1 Kings 18. So Ahab sent unto all the children of Israel and gathered the prophets together unto Mount Carmel. And Elijah came unto all the people and said, how long held ye between two opinions? If Yahweh be the power, follow him. But if Baal, then follow him. And the people answered him not a word. All right, so this is Elijah basically having a competition, all right, with the prophets of Baal. All right, and they're going to make a, for lack of better words, a demonstration, all right, to determine whose God is going to answer. All right, so you have the prophets of Baal, you have Elijah. All right, verse 22. Then said Elijah unto the people, even I only remain a prophet of Yahweh, but Baal's prophets are 450 men. Let them therefore give us 2 bullocks, and let them choose 1 bullock for themselves, and cut it in pieces, and lay it on wood, and put no fire under. And I will dress the other bullock, and lay it on wood, and put no fire under. And call ye on the name of your gods, and I will call on the name of Yahweh. And the power that answered by fire, let him be the power. And all the people answered and said, it is well spoken. All right, meaning agreed or they understand. All right, verse 25. And Elijah said unto the prophets of Baal, choose you 1 bullock for yourselves and dress it first, for ye are many, and call on the name of your power, all right, and call on the name of your gods, but put no fire under. All right, and the reason why they're not going to put any fire under, because if you actually have a God, he's going to take on the sacrifice by fire. All right, he's going to receive that sacrifice by consuming it with fire. Okay, verse 25. And they took the bullock which was given them, and they dressed it, and called on the name of Baal from morning even unto evening, saying, O Baal, hear us. All right, and when I read this, I think of all these songs that they sing in the gospel industry. Like this song, I forgot who sang it, but it goes, Jesus, how I love calling your name. It's so many songs where they're talking about JC, 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 because they love calling that name, right? Because they get their provisions by way of Esau, the so-called white man. It tells you in Revelations, the 12th chapter, all right, so like it tells you in Revelation, the 12th chapter, that the nation of Israel is going to be nourished by that beast, man. All right. So that's the real Messiah for the 12 tribes of our people. All right. All right. And let me just continue on. All right. First Kings 18:26. They took the bullock which was given them, and they dressed it and called on the name of Baal from morning even unto noon, saying, O Baal, hear us. But there was no voice, nor any that answered, and they leaped upon the altar which was made. And it came to pass at noon that Elijah mocked them and said, Cry aloud, for he is a God. Either he is talking, cry aloud, for he is a God. Either he is talking, or he is pursuing, or he is in a journey, or peradventure he sleepeth and must be awakened. So the prophet Elijah is basically being facetious, and he's mocking the prophets, man. He's mocking their false God. All right. But I brought this out because that's exactly what's going to happen when our people call JC. All right. JC represents so-called Jesus Christ. Okay. And we say so-called because that's not his biblical reference. It's not his biblical name. It's Yahushai, which means he delivers, all right, or he saves. All right. But when they call the Greek derivative name, all right, no one is going to answer. All right. Verse 28, and they cried aloud and cut themselves after their manner with knives and lances, till the blood gushed out upon them. And it came to pass, when midday was past, and they prophesied unto the time of the offering of the evening sacrifice, that there was neither voice, nor any to answer, nor any that regarded. And Elijah said unto all the people, Come near unto me. And all the people came near unto him, and he repaired the altar of Yahweh that was broken down. And Elijah took 12 stones, according to the number of the tribes of the sons of Jacob, unto whom the word of Yahweh came, saying, Israel shall be thy name. And with the stones he built an altar in the name of Yahweh, and he made a trench about the altar as great as would contain 2 measures of seed. And he put the wood in order, and cut the bullock in pieces, and laid him on the wood, and said, Fill 4 barrels with water, and pour it on the burnt sacrifice and on the wood. And he said, Do it the second time. And they did it the second time. And he said, Do it the third time. And they did it the third time. And the water ran round about the altar, and he filled the trench also with water. Verse 36, and it came to pass at the time of the offering of the evening sacrifice that Elijah the prophet came near and said, Yahweh, power of Abraham, Isaac, and of Israel, let it be known this day that thou art the power in Israel, and that I am thy servant, and that I have done all these things at thy word. Verse 37, Hear me, O Yahweh, hear me, that this people may know that thou art Yahweh power, and that thou hast turned their heart back again. Verse 38, and the fire of Yahweh fell and consumed the burnt sacrifice and the wood and the stones and the dust, and licked up the water that was in the trench. And when all the people saw it, they fell on their faces, and they said, Yahweh, he is the power. Yahweh, he is the power. And I just want to bring that out, because once you are a man of the Lord, once you are a part of the hopeful elect, you have access to Yahweh Shema Shai. And in that particular day, Yahweh Shema Shai is going to answer. When I say that day, I mean the time of Jacob's trouble, all right? The hour of temptation, all right? The scripture says, when the enemy shall come in like a flood, the spirit of Yahweh shall lift up a standard against them, all right? So that name is going to be activated, all right, when the elect calls his name, man. All right, but that other name, that Greek-derived name, is not going to be activated. It's not going to respond, man, all right, because it's not a God, okay? And let me get this in Proverbs just to close it out. This is Proverbs 18:10. The name of Yahweh is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it and is safe. And it's the name Yahweh, all right? All right, and not JC or God, all right? But because God is a title, all right, but it's the name of that God is Yahweh, all right? So with that, I'm going to draw this lesson to a closing. I hope you brothers and sisters were edified. Once again, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakha Kodash. I also want to give double honors to our apostles, great millstone who rule well, and peace and blessings to the house of David the elect. Baba Baal, Kum Yasha Allah, Shalom.